I've had some interesting cases lately at my church in New York where large sums of money were due to people, and for years that money could not come to them. Now I've picked up something here already. There are some people in this audience here right now that has some large sums of money that's due to them, but it can't get to them. It can't get to them because of certain negative attitudes about money. I did this at the church in New York, and one lady the next week, she managed $106,000 that had been trying to get to her for over 7 years, got to her that week. Wouldn't you want yours to get to you next week? In the morning, huh? Let me actually ask a question and have you just sort of at random answer. How many of you out there know of some money that's due to you that you've been having difficulty getting? Let me see your hands. Stand up. Those people. We're going to do some work on that right now. See, we have an altar call here too. You're getting saved now. From the money rejection complex. I want to hear this as a response, and this is to help everybody that's standing. Why do you think it is that the money, that you and the money have not yet come together? All at the same time, I can hear you. I need a mic runner. Lady, come here for a moment. This is going to help everybody. You know, I didn't come here just to tell you some good theory. You get good teaching all of the time. But, you know, we've got to have what we call here demonstration, because that's the other part of the teaching. And if we don't have demonstration, then, you know, there's been something wrong with the way that you've received that teaching. You've really got to apply it. Now, why did you say you think that you've had problems getting together with that money that you think's due you?
Well, basically, I haven't seen myself having it, so I don't have it yet. It's like it's out there, and I know it's coming soon, but I haven't opened up for it.
All right, when do you want to open up for it?
Right now.
Why don't we help her open up for it? Are you going to help her open up for it?
Thank you.
And here's good news for all of you. You know, when you help other people, you help yourself at the same time. How do you think I'm so healthy and wealthy? Because I help people prosper. That's what I do all the time. Constantly. And, you know, every day people send me money in telegrams and in letters from all parts of the earth. They send me their tithes and offerings. Because, you see, I teach them to give. And, of course, you know about that here, because that's the way you're building St. Peggy's Cathedral, with your tithes and offerings. You know about the prospering power of giving. Let's all point at her, and we're going to give her a good treatment right now. What's your first name?
Wonderful. It's Sharon.
We're going to talk to her, and remember that when we help her to break a loose, it will break things loose for us also. Sharon?
Sharon.
We bless you and love you.
We bless you and love you.
And we see that big money coming to you.
And we see that big money coming to you.
Amen.
We see you with it right now.
We see you with it right now.
Whatever needed to happen, on the unconscious, subconscious level, to clear you for that money, we see that it has already happened. And we see you enjoying that money. And it is wonderful. Thank God. Come on.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, okay, Sarah. All right, you may be seated for a moment. But, you see, she was able to somewhat identify the problem. She said she just couldn't see herself with it. I remember once in Boston, when I went there to do a meeting, a very well-educated young businessman picked me up in his brand new green Cadillac convertible to take me to the meeting. And he said to me, he said, you know, last year this time, I couldn't see myself with a car like this. I said, yes, that's why you didn't have it last year this time. And you know, that's just the perfect opening for a commercial. Outside at the break, there is a wonderful tape by Reverend Ike called Your Power of Visualization. Let me hear you say visualization. Visualization. You see, Sharon said she had not received that money because she couldn't see herself with it. And in this tape on visualization, I give you all of the techniques and the actual treatments for visualizing yourself, seeing yourself with good health, happiness, love, success, prosperity, and money. And a lot of people have heard these teachings that I've done over the years on visualization, and they have had marvelous, fantastic experiences. When I first started doing this, I used to help people also visualize for vacations, you know, in places in the Caribbean or in Mexico or wherever, and you'll find that here. And I've had people write me letters from hotels in Spain and in other parts of Europe and in other parts of the world who told me that the very first time that they did the visualization with me, that unexpectedly a chain of events came about and they got the money and the wherewithal to travel. So treat yourself to one of these albums on visualization. When I repackage this, it is going to be retitled something like the Master of Life course, because once you learn the secret of visualization and how to do that, then everything is within your means. Oh, while I'm doing commercials, here's Reverend Ike's tape, Thank God for Money. This is being repackaged as the Master of Money course. What did I say? The Master of Money course. So treat yourself to these, you know, just run up that Amex, Visa, MasterCharge, best thing you could ever put on it. By the way, one of the techniques for beating the recession is by becoming a bookaholic and a tapeaholic. Come on, what are those two terms? Bookaholic and tapeaholic. I said that recession means going backward to being, doing, and having less. But let there be no recession in your mind. Let there be no recession in your thinking. Let there be no recession in your working in the kingdom of your mind. And good church services like these, good classes like we have here, good books and tapes, all of this helps you to do the work in the kingdom of your mind, so that recession cannot take over. Among many other interesting things, Jesus said these words, I must be about my Father's business. Say that. I must be about my Father's business. Say it again while I take a drink of water. I must be about my Father's business. And do you know what the Father's business is? Working in the kingdom of your mind. To keep it on a spiritual basis, to keep it on a positive basis. And let nobody fool you. This is work. Say that with me. This is work. But you learn to love this work. And it's work that you have to do regularly. It's work you have to do every day. Why? Because the world is constantly after your mind. You turn on the TV, what are they after? Your mind. They spend billions of dollars on Madison Avenue making up different commercials. Oh boy, there's the one that tells you not only that you have a headache, but it tells you what kind of headache. You don't have just an ordinary headache. You have an Excedrin headache. Cross that out. This shows us why we've got to constantly be working in the kingdom of the mind. You've got to constantly be coming to these services, getting into these classes, staying into these books, listening to these tapes. Because what the mind listens to, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent, if the mind keeps listening, it will believe. You see, it doesn't matter whether it's true or false, good or bad. If the mind keeps listening, the mind will believe. Say that. If the mind keeps listening, the mind will believe.